Yeah, we start the exhibition with this shower curtain by Diana. And the shower curtain, I think, is a very beautiful object to highlight the theme of the exhibition, because we actually step into the space going through a shower curtain. It is there to cover basically a moment of intimacy, of showering. And by opening the exhibition with the shower curtain, we invite people to go into an intimate space.
For us, it was interesting to highlight the topic of intimacy and also human vulnerabilities and what they mean in the cybersphere. Nowadays, there's a lot of works of AI that are deprived of any human touch. They're made by robots and machines, and we want to see what are the traces of the human hand, the human craft in the online spaces.
The goblin and the orc on the internet is a very specific symbol for people who, so to say, go goblin mode. And that means to be like very angry or very upset at something, and it's particular especially in isolated video game communities where people get upset at the video game because they're losing or they're being angry. So in this case, the goblin or this orc figure is used in a sculptural sense to, I would say, deconstruct this idea of the goblin.
Both of the videos touch on the idea of inceldom. So yeah, incels are men who has a lot of rage and feels definitely very lonely and blames a lot of that on the society and specifically on women. And one of these videos, the one on the right, is a musical about this topic.
Because his work is in dance and performance, and that's also the main medium he's using today, these videos are made using motion capture software. So there's this element of performance in the videos, even though they seem very digital. There is kind of an actor who is involved in the making process.
Because this work is partially physical, partially video work, it draws the connection between having social media presence that's not only the part of you being on the internet and interacting with the internet, but also the physical part of it, being behind the computer, facing yourself, and the relationship you have with yourself on the screen. Is the person on the screen different than you? Is kind of the question that I'm posing with this work.
These works are inspired by 17th, 18th century Wunderkammers, where people back in the day used to display all their most valuable items for other people to kind of understand their social status. So think of like beautiful paintings, but also artifacts and antiquities and all this stuff. And I make a comparison between the Wunderkammer of that period of time and video games. And in particular, the inventory in video games, in role-playing games. There is a very large element of collecting and exploring one's own online identity through items and through achievements. I'm using cardboard for the majority of these pieces because it is in stark contrast, in my opinion, with digital medium, which can be very pristine and kind of inaccessible. But cardboard is the opposite. Cardboard is very fragile, and also it shows kind of how strange it is that we put so much worth in these objects in digital worlds that, like the Wunderkammer, actually have a very strange significance to one's identity.